Hi there, thanks again for your video. I think your idea is great, and I think the blueprint you laid out for it is possible. I think there are people all over the world with webcams and access to the internet, and all we need to do is just contact the people that we know who do volunteer and work in the particular area or village we choose to work in, and take the idea to them. There are definitely people in Africa who have webcams. I'm an African. I don't actually live in Africa right now, but and I'm fortunate that I'm not one of the thousands that are dying from hunger or disease. But there are loads of people who would be interested in helping out in an idea like this. I believe in humanity, and I think that most people do, and people will be able to, or will be willing to donate their time and their access to the internet to log the progress of such a project or document it. So I'll just quickly comment on the comments made to these videos, addressing a few issues. In terms of people being worried about African governments mismanaging funds, I would suggest that you go through NGOs. There are loads of NGOs that who do brilliant work, and not all African countries and governments are corrupt and mismanage funds when it comes to things like hunger and starvation. As far as where the money goes, I read a report yesterday on how a lot of the time money donated is spent servicing debt. So in order to keep the debt afloat, I think it's called, they have to pay big premiums on it. So it's just maybe one of the explanations why money doesn't go straight to the people. Also, getting like the infrastructure of it, it's not merely about getting the food. There's loads of other infrastructural, logistical things to consider. As far as Africa learning or to take care of itself or solve its own problems, I recommend that people with issues with this read the framework and initiatives put forth by NEPAD, NEPAD. If you Google that, you'd be linked to a few sites. Also, with regard to whether there is a need to support AIDS research and funding initiatives more than there is a need to support hunger operatives. AIDS is a really tragic disease, and I come from a country where it is the most virulent in the world, I think, and it is tragic, and there is definitely a need to help in this area, and I have pledged my support in this as well. But even though this in itself is a noble cause on its in itself on its own, the brutal truth of it is that people infected with HIV are terminal, and antiretroviral drugs can only help prolong a certain death. And I'm really not trying to be callous. When I was at university, I saw my class numbers drop drastically as people were just losing to this scourge that has overtaken my continent. And so I'm touched by it. I've known people who have gotten sick from this, and I'm really not trying to be callous, and I'm not saying forget about AIDS and the massive problem that is, or that we should not support it. Where I'm basically leading to is that in terms of saving actual lives, hunger is something that we can reverse. We can save lives by eliminating hunger. Food and nutrition can pardon this particular unnecessary, cruel, and painful death sentence. We can save lives, and I think every little bit helps. Saving just, this is going to sound cliched, but it is so true. Saving one life will make a world of a difference to that particular person. A lot of the times people are really weak and they can't work, and so they can't buy food even if food is available. But if we can save one life, that person could possibly get stronger and and be able to work and support himself or herself and another person, and when that person gets well, they will do the same. So we'll start a chain reaction of health and stability. Anyway, thanks again for your video. There is an axiom or a saying in the country that I come from that says umuntu ngumuntu ngabantu, and it says basically what it means is a person is a person won and through others, and I think this is what it's about. This is it's a deep love and respect for humanity and an awareness that we all are a part of this thing called humanity, and the blame or the onus to do something about it should not be on a particular nationality or a group or any particular group of people. The onus is on ourselves. We have to look within our own hearts and find our own humanity. And if others don't think it's a good idea, well then, don't get involved. But I think it's a great idea, and I pledge my support to you. Thank you. It's Candy Phil.